Welcome everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I have a reading for you which is Messages of Love. And what you need to know about this reading. This one is a little bit specific. I'm recording this after I have filmed all the groups. And it's something that you will know if it resonates with you. These are messages to make you feel more appreciated, what the universe in general would like to remind you of, something about yourself that maybe you have forgot how lovable is, or maybe you are struggling with something right now. Each of the group has its own specific, and yeah, but I'm sure there is something for you if you are here. So yeah, I have 4 groups for you in total, and group number 1 is the table card with the chrysocolla. Group 2 is the crown with the rhodonite. Group 3 is the rain boots with the tourmaline, and group 4 is this telephone with the aqua aura. And yeah, just remember that, of course, everything is lovable about you. The intention of this reading is just to highlight something that you are meant to hear right now, something important. So yes, I hope that you have a good day and that this reading helps you in some way. See you in your reading. Bye bye. Hello everybody who chose group number 1 with the chrysocolla. So underneath your table card were sodalite and peacock. So let me see. I feel like for your group it's very important that you believe in yourself. So whether you are maybe struggling right now or in the process of building that, or you are already well, how do I say it? Well established in your self-confidence, universe wants to highlight that theme in your life right now. So I feel like there is something that you are trying to build or stabilize in your life. Perhaps it is this sense of stability in general, or there's an actual idea that you are trying to ground, to really work upon, that is really at the center of your attention in the present moment. But in general, this table also talks about the sense of stability, as I was saying. So this may be also something that universe really wants you to appreciate about yourself, that there is this sense of being stable and grounded in yourself, or an opportunity to really build that in yourself and improve on that. Because peacock is this beautiful creature which is just very self-confident, but this confidence doesn't really come from the place of any negative vibes. It's really just knowing your own value, understanding your own beauty, how much you have to offer yourself and the world, and really not being afraid to show that. And with knowing that you can be confident in yourself, it radiates this inner beauty outwards, and it also creates a sense of trust and stability, because whatever happens to the peacock, he knows that it's for the best, because he is stable in himself, so he doesn't doubt himself. He can face anything and assimilate it. With the peacock card, there is this assimilation going on, that whatever is going on, he's able to deeper understand it and bring it into his conscious mind. He is never trapped in his subconscious fears, or isn't ever doubting himself or blaming himself or others. He's just very stable in himself, and that creates this very beautiful confidence that everybody admires about this creature. And sodalite over here talks about importance of consciousness, of awareness, and the role it plays with setting your intention, the role of self-confidence, believing in yourself as well. Because sodalite talks about this idea that in order to live more happily, more consciously and freely, it's important that you are aware of what is going on in your mind, in your heart, and that you are able to not be trapped by this subconscious, not understood emotions or thought patterns, but rather you are able to really assimilate them and create this sense of self-worth, stability in yourself once again. And this enables you to bring forward this clear intention and living with intention, because that is what this sense of consciousness, conscious awareness, let's call it, enables you to do, to put out your intentions and know that they resonate both with your conscious and subconscious mind, because you are bringing the subconsciousness to your consciousness. And this way you create your stability, your own world with ease and with confidence, knowing and trusting that whatever is happening for your highest good, and that there is never anything that is happening to you as in wanting to harm you or cause you some discomfort. Everything is for your highest good. With that confidence, you are sure of it. And I want to say that the peacock is very similar in its colors to the chrysocolla. Maybe chrysocolla is important to you, maybe peacocks are some sign for you as well, maybe you really enjoy decorating with peacock feathers, but yeah, that's just for some people. So there's this importance of understanding your mind and your inner processes with air again. Or it is something that you are so good at that the universe wants to applaud you. And just so we are sure, it's not something that is very common, I think, because people often don't realize a lot about themselves. And they can go into this subconscious driven mode of feeling misunderstood or done wrong by others, just not feeling very good with themselves, right? And we all go through that. Yeah, and that's something that universe wants to remind you, that there is possibility of living that way, and if you already do, they're very proud of you. And it is something that you have in yourself, either way, whatever it is, something that you are building or that is already in you. So here are 4 cards, which are further what universe wants you to appreciate and love more about yourself, or just wants to mention to you at this moment. Because remember, once again, universe loves everything about us all the time. We are perfect in every inch of our body, mind and soul. So this is just something that may be important right now for you. So whatever is going on, you need to hear it, or it's just going to help you. So we have Saboteur, and let me just read it for you, because I think maybe sometimes those messages on cards can resonate with people on deeper level. So light attribute highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it will bring to your life. I will not read shadow attribute, but if I feel anything, I will come to them. Samaritan, light attribute, refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Child eternal, light attributes, determination to remain young in body, mind and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. And damsel, understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. So one thing that I feel is that you are young at heart, maybe it will not resonate with everybody, but many of you are actually very explorative, very connected with their inner child and with the need to explore and have fun as well. But let's go to the specific cards. So with those cards over here, I feel like what universe wants to appreciate, it wants you to appreciate about yourself more, is your really willingness to help others and your pure heart. Because if you are struggling with self-confidence, I feel like maybe you don't believe in yourself enough. But actually there is a lot that you can do, and you may not even realize how much power you have to change your lives and those around you. So, Saboteur, once again, I feel like this may actually kind of talk about if you are struggling with overcoming your inner fears and some kind of issues. This is nagging you to work through it, because it is worth it. And if it's not, it's really, again, appreciating that you have this great tendency to spot your inner saboteur and do something about it. So you are not afraid, or you are learning to not be afraid to really make those changes in your life, because you are not afraid of true power, because self-confidence is true power, right? Because then we know there is nothing really that can happen to us that would harm us. We are not afraid of other people, of their judgment, of ourselves. We believe that we can do good for ourselves. So yeah, that's something that is being repeated over here. So with Samaritan and Child Eternal, once again, I feel like you have this pure heart when you are really willing to help those around you. Or you may actually do some humanitarian work. Maybe you are working with people, helping them, or it's just something that is in your nature, and whenever you go, you're not afraid to give somebody a helping hand, to lift somebody's mood. Maybe you are a volunteer of some kind. That's also something that keeps popping up in my head and in the cards. So, and with the Child Eternal again, there is this really beautiful, joyful spirit about you, that you are able to see things with those fresh eyes, as the card says. So yeah, it's very beautiful as well. And with those sunflowers, maybe you have some passion for gardening, but that's like a connection with nature for some of you. Yeah, sorry, I got a bit lost in the thoughts. And with the damsel, I feel like this is talking about appreciating your inner beauty. Despite the message on the card, I feel like she is looking at herself and she is just appreciating her beauty, like the peacock, really. And she is learning how to be independent in her self-confidence. There is this message of healthy romance, so maybe it is something that you are looking for, or maybe you like romantic things, maybe you are romantic at heart. But first and foremost, I feel like it's talking about this self-confidence, understanding and knowing your inner beauty, and not being afraid to rely on that, and never really settling for anything that isn't up to your standard, in a sense that isn't really serving you, because you know that you deserve the world. or that's what you're aiming for, and that's what the universe wants you to keep at or to go for. And this tendency to help others with the shadow attribute, maybe sometimes you give too much of yourself, maybe you are an empath of some kind, but in general it's something beautiful. There are like two sides to everything in this world, and if you have an ability to really well connect with others, sometimes it can get shadowy, as if when you are not fully established in yourself, you may kind of sacrifice your own highest good in order to help those around you while not being fully taken care of yourself. But of course, when you come to understand that you need to be full in order to give, and that tendency of wanting to help others no matter what they are to you, just for the sake of this love that you feel for them, this warmth that you extend towards strangers, then you can really keep on doing that in a more healthy way, with this self-confidence and knowing that you come first in a sense. And yeah, once again, this child eternal, I feel like there is this very fresh, beautiful energy about you that's connected with purity as well, purity of your heart. And whatever you ever decide to create in your life, it's something that is pure. You are never intending to harm anybody. If there is something that I feel like maybe coming up for some of you, it's maybe you have this funny side to you that wants to do like saboteur jokes. I don't know, I just thought about it with those two images. Like, it seems like somebody might like pulling off jokes that are sometimes extreme, but in a good way. Yes, so that's what I feel for now. And let me go for the 3 tarot cards, which will speak about some possible situation that is going on in your life, and maybe further go about what you may love about yourself. And here are 2 cards that will help you maybe identify what is the situation, or if this part will even apply to you in this sense. So maybe let's first go for what attributes or personality traits there might be that that might be something that universe would like you to appreciate about yourself. So first we have 6 of Cups. So once again, really, this is this child spirit. So there is this side of you that is very gentle. You are sentimental towards your childhood, or maybe it's about this softness, your family bonds, friendships that stay with you since you were young. The 10 of Swords in reverse, 10 of Arrows in this deck, instruction, because here there are a bit of nuanced different meanings from the traditional ones. So first it talks about this not giving up. So if there's any hurt that has been caused to you, you are learning to understand it. You aren't really defeated by it, but instead you see the hurt, you see the pain and the circumstances for what they are, and you find the deeper meaning in them, which enables you to not be lost in this pain, really, because probably it was painful. Because life is life and things can happen that are not nice, right? Some are less extreme and others can really do us good. Let's say. Yeah, so there is this ability again to see the hurt and understand it, and again assimilate it, as the Peacock cards was saying. That's what I feel with it. And that's something that I thought when I was seeing it. Once again, if there are some of you that I like are like working for like animal rights or environment, I just feel like with those two cards, it kind of is looking like this man is aiming at those two little small, I don't know what they are, in the forest, those animals. And I thought about, oh sorry, how it may be connected with like being against hunting, or something about hunting animals in the wild. Yeah. And again, with the justice, the forest guardian, it talks about justice. That's what it is. So really caring for the right and wrong, for the balance of any situation. You are understanding the cause and effect in every situation that you encounter in your life. You see that, yeah, once again, every action has its consequences, and that whatever is happening in the moment, there's this element of creating your reality and trusting that everything will come to balance itself. Because in the traditional imagery of the justice card, there are the scales, right? So you see this balance and the sword, which is the justice, like fighting for the justice. So really what's highlighted here is that you care for the justice in the world. You are an individual who doesn't just put themselves first. They know that there is an importance of balance in the world and in your own approach to life. And that's something that you cultivate in yourself and in how you try to approach those situations. When you assimilate those wounds and hurt, whatever has happened to you that wasn't so nice, that caused you pain, you are looking at those situations through the eyes of this justice, of understanding, deeper knowing that it is all as it should be, and everything is always going towards this balance of good and bad, so to speak, of hurt and happiness. And that's also, I want to say that with caution, because I truly believe that you can have a totally happy life, but it's more so about understanding that there's always like balance, and the sense of happiness comes actually from your perspective. So once again, you are really able to see with the eyes of understanding, deeper understanding, of really knowing how the universe works and how it always works righteously and in your favor. And if we look at it as a situation or as some kind of advice for you, we have the lesson card and the quiet card. So those two together represent something that has happened to you that has really, oh, okay, so I already know how to interpret this as well, yeah. How something has happened that was a lesson for you, of course. So a situation that caused you some discomfort, some pain possibly, but for many of you, I feel like it may have not been so serious. As in, of course, you may have felt very terribly like unstable, sad, unsure of yourself, but it wouldn't have like very detrimental consequences. And this situation, because look, this universe is like this is universe and this is you in this situation, and you are struggling, and of course that's very valid. That's not very nice place to be, but the universe is smiling at you, right? You will learn. You are in the process. So whatever has happened or were happening in your life, it was all meant to teach you to trust your intuition, to have this deeper understanding of life and deeper understanding of self, really being connected with who you truly are and what your soul or whatever you believe in is telling you is important for you, where to go, and so on in everyday life, in making bigger decisions. All those lessons were kind of leading you back into yourself, into really trusting yourself and having that confidence flowing from that deeper understanding of self. So I feel like those cards are kind of confirming what I was talking about as in personality wise, but again, there might be some situation that has stemmed in your childhood or in your past that has really made you hurt, okay? And it may have been connected with a parental figure, with a family member, or with really a teacher, a mentor of some kind. That's something that comes through the most strongly, but it could be like literally anything. But for many of you, it was something connected with authority or parental kind of figure. So perhaps there was a situation when you were very trusting and you haven't yet experienced this kind of like hurt or circumstances that may have not been the most pleasant, and this has made you kind of hurt, of course. Your innocence was kind of tested here, like you may have been hurt, and it was hard to believe that everything is actually happening for you, that it's all for the highest good. Because sometimes when hard situations are going on in our lives, we can doubt it, right? That it's really for the best. But then with the justice, over time you have learned, and you learn now to see that whatever is happening, once again, is serving you, and it's all just. There's no injustice in our world, and there's no injustice in your life. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a reason behind it, whether it be on a more spiritual level, on a bigger scale, like something that is meant to teach you this beautiful lesson that brings you closer to your inner self, or whether we talk about like more physical, basic level. So you are making choices that lead to certain outcomes, and at the same time that there are things that are out of your control, as in on the human scale. You can't control other people, you can't control like certain situations that are totally out of your control, like natural disasters, death, and so on. And that's maybe something that you are going through right now again. And this may be, once again, urging you to have that self-confidence, to have that trust that everything is going to be okay, and to really not be afraid of your pure, innocent heart, really appreciating it and still using it as a fuel for your confidence and the fuel for building your life. Yeah. And here I have an advice card for you, and we have the Ace of Cups, Ace of Emotions. It's a very beautiful card, the Myse Tarot. I love it. So with the Ace of Cups, again, it's talking about intuition, about emotional healing, emotional renewal. For some of you, if you are looking for romance in your life or anything of that nature, it's kind of implying that maybe something is on the horizon, but you will know if that is resonating with you. But more so, it's talking about the intuitive abilities, about healing. So again, trusting your intuition and building your connection with your intuition. That is something that will always help you really understand what is going on and keep at this ability of trusting life, at having confidence that everything is working out for the best. And just look at her. It's about being connected with your emotions. So again, being connected with your subconsciousness, because she's like going from the depth towards the surface. So it's this process of understanding your deeper fears, how certain situations have affected you, bringing it forward to your conscious mind, your conscious self, and really utilizing this deeper knowing in order to feel more confident again and just heal anything. If there's any still lingering hurt from your past, and in many cases, many people have this issue, and sometimes you may not even realize it, and it may come up later, like suddenly in your life, and you then realize like, oh, it's some unhealed business from my childhood. Who would have thought? If that's not so obvious. But again, it's the message that you are connected with your intuition, and you can deepen that connection, and it can help you a lot in going about your life and any tough situation that you are facing. But you are doing very good already. You are really cultivating this stability, solid foundations. So everything is going to be good. And actually I have some, I don't know, let's call it confirmation dice. There are like small images on those. We have planet Earth, wings, a flower, and a tree. So maybe those mean something to you. But again, it implies like a special connection with your intuition, with the nature. Maybe you are an environmental activist or something of that kind, but also just blooming with confidence. Yeah, like this beautiful flower. So that's all that I have for you. I'm sorry if it was a bit chaotic at times, but I hope that you really take that message in and that it somehow resonates, and that after this you really feel more loved and more love in general for yourself, for the life around you, because that's really important. That was my really main goal for today. And sometimes by the end of the reading we forget what was said at the beginning, but you are this beautiful, beautiful peacock, and you really have this beautiful ability to connect with yourself, to understand life at a deeper level, and transform any hurt into golden lessons that are enabling you to connect even deeper with who you are and who you can be, with all of your potential, and are grounding you in this world, in your goals, in manifesting whatever you wish for, because you have that beautiful, beautiful connection between your subconscious and conscious mind, and you are having a heart of gold. You have a heart of gold, and you are always eager to help those in need, perhaps because you have yourself lived through something that wasn't so pleasant for you. So you want to help others who are going through the same thing. Okay, so that's all that I have for you. Thank you very much. Once again, I really hope that this has somehow resonated with you, and really lots of love for you. Thank you very much, and I hope that you come back to my channel anytime soon. Bye bye! Everybody who chose group number 2 with this rhodonite stone. Yep. So you guys are the only ones who got 2 cards underneath. Because while there was a crown for you, there was also the king. Those 2 fell out together, and I felt like it was just like extra confirmation, so I took them both. So you can feel special already. Let's just say that. Okay, so yes, those are the 2 cards that you chose, and underneath them were the cheetah and the clear quartz crystal. So actually one of the choices in the pick a group part of the video was clear quartz. Yes, so right away with this king and the crown, I feel like what universe wants me to pay attention to and to pay your attention to is that there is this period in your life of like great expansion. And actually both cheetah and clear quartz talk about the same concept here. So there is this time when you are really growing, connecting with your inner passion, your inner drive, and anything that you focus on right now will really build more quickly, more intensely, because there is this message of expansion, of heightened energy, of growing, of really multiplying with this crystal here. And cheetah as well, it's the fire sign here, and it's really connected. If you know anything about cheetahs, their drive, their speed, it's really talking about how their great power, their strength comes from within, because they're able to go those distances very fast. They're like really strong, the fastest land animals, I think they are. So you are this cheetah, and what you are being very encouraged to right now, or something that is important for you that you already are doing right now, is your ability to really focus on your passion and fuel it by really forward movement, and acting on it, taking action. And actually your pile has this kind of masculine energy. With cheetah, there is even like in the book for those cards, there is a highlighted message of masculine solar energy. So again, it's related to this action. So it doesn't matter what gender you are, it's just about like this force in us that is believed to be more connected with taking action, with creating yourself. And again, with the king and the crown, you are becoming this ruler of your own life. I feel very like high energy and tension. I have like difficulty breathing. I feel like I need to calm my breath for a second, so I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, you have tremendous power, and you are learning to use it for your own benefit, for the benefit of those around you, because there's a tiny bit of a leadership energy, actually a lot of leadership energy. But I know that it will not apply for everybody, at least not in a literal sense. But it seems like you have this energy of a leader. You are a person of leadership skills. You are someone who can inspire others by their actions or even perhaps you take a role of a leader in your everyday connections with your friends. Maybe you are a person who initiates, who kind of leads by an example, or perhaps there's actually something that you do, maybe your job, maybe any other activity, when you are kind of leading people. Maybe you are a boss of some kind, or you're just this tremendous inspiration. This is the most universal message that I think will apply to all of you, no matter if you think you are like a leader, or maybe you don't feel like one, or maybe you don't work in this field, you don't work a type of job which would be considered leadership, but there is this element of inspiring others for all of you, no matter who is listening. Inspiring others and leading by example. With cheetah as well, it's this creature that really, with its, as it says in the book, with its inner sun, it draws people in to watch its great achievements. So it's very similar to the king. So you are becoming even more independent. If you were in some kind of job where you felt dependent, or maybe you are like a younger person who is just moving out, or something like that, anything that is connected to your independence, there is a period of transition where you are actually becoming more independent in a literal sense. But in general, it talks about this symbolical meaning that you are somehow taking more control of your life, whether it's connected to some actual physical world, let's call it change, or whether it's something on an inner level of some kind of transformation within yourself. So yeah, really, universe is giving you this message of love that, dear beautiful person who is listening right now, you are in a beautiful period of great change, of limitless possibilities, that you have potential to do anything that you want with your energy. You can create and you will get the results faster than normally, because you are just in the perfect alignment and perfect energy to really get to work. And this may be something that you are actually already very well established in. This may be just your vibe, and universe is telling you that you are great at it, and it's something very special about you. Even though it's a general reading, it's special and it's very beautiful. So for the archetype cards, which I wanted to be something that's especially highlighting what's lovable about you, for you to appreciate about yourself in this moment, because as I was saying in the intro, I think everything about us, every inch of our being, is always loved by the universe. If you believe in God and in souls, and I think perhaps most of you who are watching my channel do, yeah, you are loved as a whole by them, by everything. And it's important to remember that. So it's not like something to attach your worth to, but to just in this moment appreciate about yourself. This may be something that right now is important to acknowledge or be reminded of. Yeah, so we have 4 cards for archetypes, and let me just read the light attribute for you, because I think it may resonate for some of you more deeply than if I go into detail or just additionally. So the goddess, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Father, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. Child, magical, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. And artist, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Yeah. So let me just start by saying that some of you may be artists. I want to start with it. I will probably go back to it, but yeah. Some of you may be artists, but other of you may simply enjoy some kind of creative hobby. Maybe you are actually trying to start your own creative business of some kind. Doesn't have to be purely artistic as we understand it, like traditionally, but yeah, maybe that's something that this gaining independence is connected to for some of you. But whether you are like traditionally artistic or not, you are a very creative person in terms of your mind, in terms of your ideas, of your goals. You are creating something that is new, that is beautiful, and that is inspiring to others, and inspires them to see beyond just the physical aspect of things and to really connect with deeper messages in everyday experiences as well, and in your art if you are like a traditional artist, whether it's music, whether it's artwork, whether it's anything connected with acting, theater, anything artistic. Okay, yeah. But going further along to the father. So again, some of you may be fathers. I don't know what percentage of my audience could possibly fit this characteristic, but yeah, if you are a father, or maybe even if you are a parent, I want to tell you that you are great at it, and universe really appreciates your bond. And I'm just smiling with your kid, and your kid appreciates your bond as well, and you are just amazing and beautiful as a parent. But if you are not, I think are there some practical aspects of this card. Maybe you have a beautiful relationship with your father, and it's something to appreciate right now. I think that your father figure was important in building your idea of healthy masculinity. Or in some cases, if you guys resonate with a message of struggling in your childhood, maybe there was some issue with your father which has led you to seek this independence. But mostly, if you don't resonate with that, I just want you to not worry about that and focus on the positive message and other aspects, that there is this, again, masculine energy as well, right? The father connected with you, something to appreciate. So you, again, your relationship with your father, or if you are a father, but just if you travel to your childhood, to your memories, whether they were more positive or negative or the mix of both, you will see that your relationship with your parent has really gave you some kind of values and inspiration that has pushed you to be who you are now, and somehow to realize your own goals in life, to seek your own independence. It has motivated you to become this leader in some way. But it's very specific. Okay, so even though we have this masculine energy, we also have the goddess, the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So if you are, actually, no matter your gender, there's this aspect of really appreciating yourself, being connected also to your inner feminine side, and in its more powerful form. So perhaps you could see that although you have this very action-oriented energy, it's important that you also have this side of you which is able to just really appreciate life and appreciate the love and focus on just being in your body and feeling this bliss in yourself, no matter what's happening. And also for some of you, it's connected to your like spiritual beliefs. Maybe some of you are into like connection with goddess or something of that kind. Yeah, and if you are a woman, I feel like you are even more so connected to your inner beauty, and you truly embrace the fact that even though you are a woman, you are not afraid to take action. And if you are a man, or I don't want to I'm sorry if because of course there are many more gender identities, but whatever is your identity, I just want to say that there is this great need for really appreciating your balance, or the possibility of balance between really feeling the beauty of your life, the beauty in yourself, and being grateful for everything that you have, and creating your own reality and really expanding on that. Yeah, I think that gratefulness is something that I just felt really come through. Gratefulness, appreciating life. And that's why you get to have this much power, because universe really grants power, like true power, to individuals who can appreciate it. I know it doesn't always work like that on the greater scale of things, but in your life, I think that this gratefulness is something that universe really appreciates and wants to tell you that it's grateful for your gratefulness. Because it's not every day that people truly understand the beauty in life. And it's nice when somebody does, you know what I mean? Yeah. And again, with the child magical, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. I think like this is also connected with what I have just talked about. So seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things. So this appreciating of life, appreciation of magic, of simple things, of everything that is happening to you. You can really pause, and you're that kind of person who will like see a bird fly by and you will think like, wow, it's so beautiful. You know what I mean? And like be amazed by the possibilities of this world, and by nature, and by human connection and ingenuity and everything that there is. And that may also be connected with your creativity, because that can truly be fuel for creative ideas, for art, if you are this artist person. Sorry. The belief that everything is possible, yeah, that's also connected to this gratefulness, because you truly believe that everything is possible. And that's this force of expansion as well that we have talked about here with the cheetah and the clear quartz, right? You truly see that everything you strive to achieve is possible, and that's why it is possible. You are either in this energy or you are entering this energy, and the universe really, really, really wants you to admire that about yourself, admire about life. This is the message of love, that everything is possible. And you are a grateful, humble person that is very strong at the same time, determined to strive for the best, but you do it with gratefulness. You are connected to this understanding of beauty of life. Okay, so let's go further. So this part of the reading, I have 3 tarot cards, which I want to talk about like a certain situation that has either occurred in your life or is going on right now, that the universe wants to talk about here in this reading with love. Maybe it needs some deeper understanding, but at the same time I will try to interpret them as something about you that universe wants you to appreciate right now as well. And here are 2 cards which will help me and you identify what the situation is about. So maybe you will be able to see if this will even resonate with something that is going on for you. But let's see. We have courage and joy with 36 and 0, so it's the full vibes, the new beginnings vibes. But the courage was the first card, so it's like more important, and this is just like, for me, I will read it additionally. So courage. There was this situation when you were kind of perhaps on your own, for some of you, on your own, and you have learned to make decisions for yourself that were perhaps kind of scary at the time, but you knew that they were the best option that you had. And this really built your inner strength. You are not afraid of what you were maybe kind of intimidated before because of this situation or situations. It has really tested your courage, but by that it helped you build more courage to connect and connect with and understand your fears and not be held back by them. Because this little girl is like you, and this snake, I feel, represents your fears, and letting out the snake of the cage is like letting your fears out. So that's what I feel with it. That's somehow what the situation was about and the aim of the situation. And it was meant to, with the joy card, once again, feel this joy, pure passion of life, like appreciating the beauty in everything, child magical. I feel like those 2 cards are really closely connected with its vibe. Their vibe. And additionally, it's this has connected you more with courage, and again it's kind of courageous because this little guy is walking on this line above this huge how do you call it, at this great height, you know, so he is courageous. So I feel like initially you were kind of afraid of this courage. It wasn't so comfortable because this little girl looks kind of scared. She is very brave to be out there in this forest alone, but we don't really know if she made this choice herself, right? Maybe she did, so you will know how it was for you. But right now, or it's leading to having this courage in joy, in freedom, walking. You can't say that somebody forced this guy to be up there. He is clearly enjoying himself, and even if what he's doing can seem potentially dangerous, he doesn't care because he trusts, he's grateful, and he is just doing his own thing with joy, with passion, with courage, doing something unconventional, something that most people wouldn't dare to, is what I'm looking for, the right word. Yeah, so that's you. That's who you are becoming. That's what the situation is connected to. Let me here. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords, 2 of Swords in reverse, and 10 of Wands. Okay, so first thing what I want to say about your character, I feel like you are a person who is very intellectual and very intellectually inspired, very creative. So you have many fresh ideas, you see many possibilities, and I think that's also what's connected with the cheetah, with the expansion. But it's kind of more so about the possibilities themselves. It's not about the energy of being grounded in action, but rather being able to always remain inspired. So I'm not saying that you aren't in this more matured energy of taking action on your ideas, but what I'm saying is that there is this very important quality to you that universe wants to highlight here, that you are able to remain inspired, that you are able to expand because you are not running out of fuel for your creation. Yeah. And you may be also studying something right now, maybe just learning about some subject that you are very interested in, because it's also connected with curiosity for life, first for knowledge, student of life, of anything, so that may resonate additionally for some of you. With the two sorry, with the two of swords in reverse, there's this element when you, because I feel like this may be connected more so to the situation itself, but so take this, if it resonates, there's this side of you that is kind of overthinking many decisions, because you try to take into consideration many factors. When you are in this leadership role, or if you try to develop something important to you, or you are just making in general a decision that's kind of important, you will always care about different aspects of a problem or of a situation. So I feel like you are a very responsible person with this 10 of Wands. You have many responsibilities again, so those might be connected with children, with just people around you that you are taking care of, or somehow you are connected to. Maybe it's about this leadership role again, so maybe you are a boss of some kind, so you are taking into consideration others people side as well, and you are trying to balance it with what you want to do, of what you feel is right, and sometimes it can lead to this kind of confusion. But nevertheless, you of course always make it out. That's the most important thing. But yeah, that may be something that you struggle with, but if you do, the universe wants you to know that it's okay, that if you feel like it's something that is bugging you or maybe weighing on you, just know that it's okay. It's something that if you decide to, you can try to work on, and there is no rush. But there are also positives to it if you kind of try to keep it down. And it's beautiful that you care for so many things, that you are this very smart person and very caring person that is aware of the consequences of any decision and wants to do the best for everybody, for yourself maybe perhaps as well. If there are no other people involved, you just want the best out of a situation, because you take great care in knowing that your actions have the potential to create something beautiful, something good in the future. You're an aware individual, and that's beautiful. That's very lovable, you know, even if it may sometimes overwhelm you. If it does, you will know that it resonates, and please don't worry. It's possible to work through anything if you decide it's important for you, and never rush yourself. There is no need to rush. And with the Ten of Wands, again, I feel like you are very responsible. Sometimes so much so that you become overwhelmed with your responsibilities, especially if you are a parent or if you are a boss of some kind, or you just have a high position in your work. Or maybe even if you are like your own boss, just you're doing your own thing as your job, your business. There are also many aspects that you need to consider whenever you make a decision in that area. Your clients, your own struggles, and meeting your own needs, and your family, or whatever you need to take care of, maybe your passions, additionally your plans for the future. It's all important. So you are a person of great care for others, and just for making sure your decisions are optimal and fruitful for the best possible outcomes in the future and in your present as well. But if we read this as some kind of situation, I feel like there was a situation when you had to decide. Between something that mattered to you on a personal level, something that was just on this idea level, but it was something that you really wanted to try. You were ready to dare to try, do it. And on the other hand, there was something that was really it had great importance, or you at least gave it great importance. That seemed to you, at least, as something that had to be like, it wasn't possible to do this thing or the thing you wanted to do at the same time. You felt like it was a choice. I'm not going to tell you that maybe it wasn't like actual choice. Maybe it was possible to connect those two things, but you felt like it was this or that. Like, if you do that, maybe you can still do the other thing, but it will not be as efficient, as great, and you care that what you do is done the right way. So if there is a situation right now or in the past that is like that you have this choice to make, or you feel like because it's the Two of Swords in reverse again. So for me, it kind of means that perhaps you don't have to make a choice. For some of you, it means that confusion, but for some of you, maybe if you see more clearly the situation that we are talking about, you will actually realize that you don't have to give up anything, that you can have both things. And that is the message that's really important for some of you. You will know if it's your case, because if you resonate with this whole message of choosing, I think while you are listening to it or this reading, or if you will find that you think this message might be for you, just try to take a few deep breaths in and just face your inner truth, because that's courage also talks about facing inner truth. And you will know if this is your case. Like, maybe you will realize that what you were afraid of is actually not a big deal, and you can face this thing with much more lightness, because this joyful guy is very light. He's balancing on this line or this rope, whatever it is, and he's doing it with such grace and lightness and free feeling, you can see it. So maybe this situation for some of you is changing your perspective from feeling like you are making this very difficult choice to actually changing your perspective and saying, oh wow, I don't have to see it that way. It doesn't have to be that heavy. It doesn't have to be this difficult choice. Maybe there is no choice at all. Maybe I have been looking at it from a limited perspective for some of you. But for others, really, I can't tell you what to do, but there is this element of dilemma between your own passion and responsibility for others. So if you feel like there is an actual choice, if you feel like this situation is something that you are facing right now, not in the past, or yeah, if it's something that's going on, just I hope this reading can help you, because remember about all that we have talked about in the beginning, about your appreciation, about how everything is possible for you right now. I truly believe that if you are watching this reading, at least you can believe in yourself more and in your passion and in your really inner purpose. And if you resonate with that tough choice anyway, so now we will move to the advice card for everybody as well. So if you kind of were inspired by the more light side of the possibility of what the situation is, so there isn't much tough choice at all, or maybe this whole choice doesn't resonate in your present at all, it's something behind you, or maybe you don't really connect with that part of the reading. Anyway, the advice is 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. Additionally, this card in this particular deck always kind of reminds me with this like meditation, but I feel like it's more so this meditation kind of like connecting with yourself and feeling grateful, you know. But what this card is really talking about is believing that your wishes can be fulfilled, and also being grateful of course, already we talked about it, for what you have. Really seeing that what is around you is beautiful and is sustaining you in a very abundant way already. But there is this want for even more beauty in your life and this progression towards even more fulfillment, because 9 of Cups is like before the 10 of Cups. So that's how I'm interpreting it right now. So I feel like universe is saying to you, and it's also a message in this particular deck, and I find it really, really motivating, and kind of it helps me realize some things about what I'm experiencing, is to see if a situation and your goals are bright enough to keep you going when things get dark and you forget why you wanted something in the first place. So see that if what you want to do, you even have this like genie lamp, so wishes, what you want to do, what you plan to do is so important to you, is really your wish fulfillment. And so when there are times that it will require you to do some tough work, or when things will seem like they're against you, when you will need to make some choices, you will know that you can keep going and that it will be fulfilled, this wish of yours. So that's something that the universe wants to tell you with love. So yeah, just once again, you are in a great power, in a great energy of expansion right now. And really, it's something that is in your life for some time now. You're aware of it and are utilizing it, or it's something that universe wants you to pay more attention to realize, to use to your advantage, to the advantage of everybody, because I feel like you are a person who cares for everybody. You are not selfish. You can really handle the responsibility and the amount of power that you hold. So yeah, that is what I feel for you. So remember, your wish can be fulfilled. It will be fulfilled. but what is important is believing in it, and that is enough. And other things, I feel like you will get it all going because you can handle stuff, but just don't overwork yourself. And remember, if you have a lot of responsibilities that are other people or just very practical things, then please don't lose your creative, inspired side that wants to remain this joyful spirit that believes everything is possible and that life is beautiful. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this message resonated in some way and that it helped you to see something about your life at this moment. So yes, thank you very much and see you. Bye bye. So hello everybody who chose the black tourmaline, group number 3. The rain boots as well. So underneath your card were the 2 other cards, the stingray and the orange calcite. So the message of love for you, what we are starting here with. Let's see, because those 3 cards I think are creating a rather complex message. So let's maybe start with the rain boots. So I feel, and with the stingray as well, there is this perhaps moment in your life when you are to choose between what you know, something familiar with you, to you, old habits, old job, old ways of existing and old lifestyle, but there is this nagging opportunity for you for some kind of change. And it's a change that you are really eager to take it deep down, or you know that you are. And it's important that you trust in your potential with this message. I feel like there's this kind of situation where you are being encouraged by the universe to trust that you are protected and that it is safe for you to grow, whatever the situation is for you. I will explore it later in the reading, but already I want to tell you guys that this reading has strongly humanitarian vibes, so importance of connection with people, like helping people, healing and stuff. So I don't know if it isn't really a theme that you would say is important for you at this moment, or you completely don't feel like it could be a message for you. Perhaps it's not your pile because it's strongly about people, but maybe I will get into the depth of it more and other things will come out. So I encourage you to try to see where it goes. But yeah, with the tourmaline as well, I always, when I pick the tourmaline, I can't not think about like the protective vibes that it has. So yeah. So with the rain boots as well, because I was making those cards by myself, and rain boots are a situation where it's about protection from the tough conditions or from something that's unpleasant, and enabling the process of going for whatever you were meaning to go for anyway, in the sense that you are protected from the excuses, you are protected from the possible issues, and this makes it possible to do what you want to do anyway. Right, like if you think about rain boots, that's just what they are, right? You might think that, oh, there's this rain, I will get wet and stuff, but because of them you will not, and you can go anyway. So maybe you guys who are listening are like those rain boots for other people, but so this may be the case that will be explored later. But as well, I feel like it's about this situation. I will get more into it later, because for this pile, maybe let me just say it right away before I lost this message that I have felt is coming through. There's this two main ideas that I get with this reading, with this love message for you, and those can be both at the same time. But one is that you guys are at a point where you are encouraged to go for this change, to create something new in your life that you wanted to create, and to really go out of your comfort zone, not settle for any excuses or be worried about potential blockages or issues that could come up later on. And another one is that you are the person that really helps other people do that with their own life. But I think that both messages can really go in pair, and probably for most of you who resonate with being this more healing personality type, both apply for you. So I feel like there is this period in your life when maybe something is challenging you to make some kind of change, to expand your horizons, to make a decision that you weren't so sure about. But at the same time, universe really wants you to appreciate and wants you to know that it appreciates, and you are indeed a very strong personality which can help many people, inspire many people, make positive changes for their own life as well. Okay? So that's the message. And with a lot of water here, I feel like maybe some of you are connected with the water, maybe some of you like consciously work with like chakras. I don't know, that may be just some confirmation because we have a rainbow, but like chakra kind of rainbow, but that's just for some of you. And with the orange Kyle side, let me just I think it talks about very creative energy of the new, okay, energy of giving birth to ideas, to creation, feeling joy. And with the rainbows as well, I always associate this meaning with like imagining like small children going out with those like red dotted rainbows, dancing in the rain, having fun, splashing water. I feel like it's important that you can be freed from the issues that you may be worried about and just focus on the joy of the process, whatever the process is for you, whatever this is talking about for you. So let's move on, and now you'll see why I said that I get strong people helper, people healer, mentor vibes, because literally we have 4 cards, and those are like what the universe wants you to truly appreciate about yourself, wants you to know it appreciates about you. And I say it again and again in those readings, but remember that universe loves everything about us. And you, if you are this healer person, I think you know this truth, that it's important to appreciate every part of ourselves. Even if we strive for this change, we cannot change anything by hate or disappointment or rejecting anything about us. It's important to understand and heal with love, right? That's what this reading is about. Whoops, messages of love, sorry. So I'm sorry. Healer, advocate, messiah, and mentor. So literally every single one of those cards talks about some kind of advising and helping and guiding and serving, as you can see. So my idea so far is that I will read the light attribute of each archetype, because I feel like maybe you will find some kind of resonance with the message of the card itself. So, first card is Mentor. Passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Messiah. Serving humanity with humility. Advocate. Inspires you to put compassion into action. And Healer. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. Yeah, so I would be surprised if you aren't any kind of a healer profession, maybe whether it's some kind of spiritual healing, psychological treatment, even maybe coach, teacher, doctor, anything medical, anything that is really connected with working with others and guiding them. But perhaps this message is important for you right now. Maybe there's a very specific situation that you are going through that is connecting with helping somebody, and you need to hear that you are indeed able to inspire that person. That's something specific that I was thinking about. And in general, the amount of how everything literally resolves about helping others. If you are the person that resonates with the message of being in the transition period and in the process of deciding on going out of your comfort zone in some way, if it is connected with like maybe starting your own business that is connected with healing, I feel like the amount of those healing related cards is there to reassure you with love from the universe that you are indeed on the right path, that you can help, that you really have this ability within you that is really beautiful and beautifully developed already, that you are ready to help other people, that you can't go wrong here and you are protected. So that's the message that is for those of you. But in general, yeah, the universe is just really appreciating your help for others. Like, first, I think that the order of the cards is important for you. So their significance is important, as in the order that they come through. So the Mentor was like the first card. So that's the specific thing. And I saw like teacher as well. I was thinking about like maybe it will come out as well. So maybe actually some of you are teachers, or you are just people whose work or what you do for career, but maybe just some of your passion are connected with really inspiring others. You may share your wisdom, and it's something that really helps people go on their own journey. Maybe you have a mentor as well in your life, and your relationship with them is something very beautiful that you appreciate. There's like a person that helped you grow or like saw you from the beginning to where you are now, and your admiration for them or relationship with them is something that the universe wants you to take a moment to appreciate and feel like how much it means to you and how it helped you, if that resonates. And with the Messiah, I think like you are this very selfless character, or there is this part of you that is being addressed in this reading that is really focused on the highest good of all people, that really isn't driven by the ego, even though of course there probably is that part of you, and it is in everybody. Yeah, but you act in such a selfless way. You really care about everybody, is the message. And then later it will actually get kind of repeated. What can you do? But with the Advocate, the kind of different vibe here. It's like committing to serving for a cause, to speak for itself. So perhaps you also have this quality about you, or you do something regarding connected to helping those who are not able to help themselves. You are like this protector for some people. So if you work with the youth, like with the young people and children, you are really helping them, making them feel safe, knowing that they are protected and that their best interest is at your heart when you help them. So that's something specific again for those of you that work with children or a teacher or anything that could connect with this kind of advocative behavior relationship with some group of people or a person. But perhaps you are also like an advocate for nature, for animals as well. I feel some of you may actually be animal healers, and I will come by the topic later because I also have some cubes for you, and a pet paw came out. So some of you may work with animals, other of you may have an animal, and yeah, but it's just something additional. So don't worry if it completely doesn't resonate with you. And with the healer again, so you may work again in some more healing directly profession, so psychologist any kind of therapy again, so maybe even some kind of guidance, or medicine, or unconventional medicine. And once again, you help other people make decision for their own happiness, to really move towards their happiness, to heal any pain, any limitation. You are like a catalyst for people. Of course, we are all the masters of our own path. We all choose our destiny, and we all are equal. So it's like people choose to trust your help and to use your help, of course. But you are a person which can really help them when they wish to change their life for the better. You are there to assist them, and it's very beautiful and again lovable, and universe really loves you for that, and for many other things. Let's say that again. And it's something that right now is important, that you also see value in yourself for that. So let's move on. I have 3 tarot cards which are representing some kind of situation that is going on in your life right now, or is in the past, that is kind of important to this whole love message for you right now. But additionally also it will talk about your own additional characteristics. So we have 6 of Wands, and it came out very ambiguously on the side, so I think there's a message in that, so I will keep it not straight up or reversed, but in this kind of position. We have the Hierophant and the Ace of Swords for you. And here I have 2 cards which are like clarifiers, or some kind of indicators for what the situation may be, or what purpose it serves, to maybe help you understand what I may be talking about, or if it even resonates at all. So we have denial. So this situation is something that really is connected to denial, you know? So I feel like this may mean many different things. So if this means something for you right away, please claim that message, or even the image itself. But yeah, you know, there's this vibe of denying something to yourself. So this may be you, or again, other people that you work with, because in this reading it kind of can go both ways, really. But it's about realizing that you have been repressing something in yourself, that you have been choosing to believe in something that wasn't necessarily true, or other people are. Yeah, so I don't know, take it how you feel it may be connected to you with this card. And after a while, friendship also came out. So for some of you, it may be connected with some, it may, when I read about it, it may be connected with some kind of your own personal relationship, but more so I feel like it will talk about connections in general again, because in this deck I feel like it's the card which would be the one to talk about human connection. So again, but I will try to see how it will resonate once I go into that. So as additional characteristics of you that are something that the universe wants to pay our attention to here and now, is Six of Wands, kind of ambiguously on the side. So what I feel this might mean is your humbleness. Oh yeah, it's your humbleness. So it's this kind of feeling that you have great success, or you are able to reach great success, or whenever you reach a success in your life, it doesn't make you overly proud of yourself. In a not proud, but I forgot the word, that you don't let it, you don't let the success, like, you know what I'm trying to say, make you ungrateful. You reach this success, but you always stay humble, and you are grateful for it. You don't let it feed into your false sense of being some kind of like a better person than others, or you know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. But as well, for some of you which maybe are struggling with your self-confidence, because there is also that message of developing self-confidence in the Stingray when you are going out of your comfort zone. It may talk about how you don't always appreciate your success or see yourself as successful, when there are in fact reasons to see yourself as successful. So if you are a person who struggles with self-confidence in appreciating themselves, because you may be a person, for those of you who do struggle with that, who is so focused on others but forgets to feed your own soul, your own growth, to invest in your own highest good, you know? So it's important, because all those cards are focused on other people in a way, but it's important that you also kind of see that this energy is also poured into your own being, your own self, so that you can appreciate your successes without letting it get to your head, but just this healthy feeling of pride in yourself, like appreciating yourself, loving yourself. This is the message of this reading after all. Love for yourself. And with the Hierophant, again, the card for me in this reading, it really comes off as this teacher, you know, because this is the person that has this kind of knowledge that he is teaching others. So if you are, again, some kind of teacher or advisor or advocate, there is this knowledge and wisdom that you share with others. And for those of you who aren't in that profession as well, of course, you are this inspirational, wise figure that can really help other people gain some kind of deeper understanding. You may work at some kind of institution that is connected with guidance and help. Yeah. And with the Ace of Swords, I feel like for you it's very important to always strive to seek out the truth in any situation. And that's also connected with healing, I feel, because in healing, in helping others, you can't heal without reaching the truth of the situation, of an emotion, of going within and seeing what's under the layers of all the other thoughts and emotions and behaviors, right? So you are always seeking out the truth and you do not give up. That's also something that you never give up. So if you already are developed in this striving for growth, moving out of your comfort zone, transforming and just doing your own thing, whatever are the conditions that could possibly not work in your favor, you do not give up. You are inspired to take action, to follow through, and you believe that you will be successful. And now, if you don't feel like those traits are well developed in you, I feel it's of course possible. And if I'm talking about it right now and you're like, oh, it's not me, I wish, but I'm talking about it because universe wants you to develop those and believe in yourself, believe in this inevitable success in your life. So, for what kind of situation it could be? I feel like I will kind of repeat myself here, but let me see for a moment. Well, honestly, I feel like it's just talking about how those two may come in terms of reading is a situation this way. So I will repeat myself. You have gone through something which has made you have some epiphany about the truth of life, about like truth of human connection. You understood something on a deeper level, like how important happiness is in life, how important it is to appreciate your own self and people around you. And it was this kind of breakthrough in your life. And if you are a healer, it may talk about something that has inspired you to be in this kind of profession. And you have became like driven by it, inspired to help people. People who are in denial about their truth. People who have kind of distorted perception of reality. You help them with genuine like wish for bringing them happiness, like a friend. You look at people as friends, as human beings which deserve to be happy. And I'm kind of getting emotional. And So I don't know if this resonates for you, but perhaps it does, and you were just really inspired and knew that you wish you could share that knowledge, that epiphany you had with others. And that's what inspired you to eventually do that, to share your wisdom. So if you are in a position when you are like in process of deciding that if you would like to open some kind of helping center, like spiritual business, become a teacher, if you are like in the process of deciding whether you want to change your life in that direction, I think it's something for you. And universe just wants you to believe in yourself. If that's something you want for yourself and you are held back by some kind of doubt, by lack of self-confidence, universe is really saying, we will protect you. You are an amazing healer and you have so much wisdom to offer, and what you are going to do with your life will really help, because you know how to transform in yourself, and you can help others transform as well. And at the bottom we have the sun, and it's this life force and it's this joy. So I feel like you really can inspire people to heal and to feel happiness again. So I'm not sure if this part resonated with everybody, and whether if it didn't, if you are still here. But I have an advice for you, advice of love, of course, to end this reading with. And we have, and I took both of them, and I planned one card, but it goes together very well. Knight of Emotions, Knight of Cups, and the King of Cups. So this talks about, for me, for many of you, about some kind of an evolution as well. So we know that the Muse of Emotions, the King of Emotions, is like progression from the Knight. And I feel like you have grown and you need to acknowledge your own maturity and your own process of becoming who you are. And who you are right now is a person who has learned from their life experiences and is fully established in who they are emotionally wise. You really know how to navigate emotions. That's what we are talking about. You know about emotional truths, and you also can become somebody who teaches others about that deeper emotional stability again. And you can offer that to people and really inspire them to follow their emotional side. And you can be really like, because the Knight of Cups has this like romantic vibe to him, and of course I'm not sure if we are talking about romantic stuff here. Maybe for some of you there is some matter of the heart that is going on as well. Maybe this is like confirmation that everything is going well, but I think like you are this hopeless romantic in the sense that you want to share, you want to help because you feel it's important, and you want to take action yourself. You are this figure that is this hierophant where people come to you, but at the same time you have this great wish to extend yourself, because that's just how important you feel is the truth that you know of, that people can heal, that people can be happy. And it's also telling you that you can really, universe is saying to you, you can trust in who you are, and you can trust in what you have to offer, and in your deeper emotional intelligence, deeper wisdom on the truth of life and how important healthy emotional well-being is to people, and to how they can live their lives with much joy and, yeah, feeling connected with themselves and with everybody around them. So that's what I'm kind of getting. Maybe I got too dramatic. Maybe that's how you are. Not too dramatic. It's never too much of anything. We are perfect. But so, additional kind of little dice messages that I have. First one was the animal print, paw print. So maybe, as I was saying, some of you may actually work. Oh yeah, and then we have that. Maybe some of you are working as like with animals. Again, some of you. For others of you, maybe you work like with a, I don't know, dog therapy. That's very specific. But some of you also have like a pet that you really love, or you just feel connected with nature. Maybe like going to zoo, like, I don't know. Yeah, but again, I have a smiley face and the sun together. So the sun, and I feel like it's talking about this positive emotional positivity. So you really care about like happiness, and maybe that means something else to you, like some kind of confirmation in a book. So again, like wisdom, knowledge. Maybe you are reading right now a lot. Maybe it may symbolize some kind of education and knowledge in general. Again, so that's what I have for you. I hope it resonated in some way, that it inspired you, and remember that this reading is about messages of love. So whatever you felt resonated with you from this reading, the universe was saying that because it loves you and it wants you to love you and to just feel more love every day and share your gifts and your wisdom with others, because it can really do a lot of good if you believe in yourself and you do it in a good way. Like, what I want to say here is you care for yourself as well. Yes, so thank you very much, and yeah, have a nice day or night and see you again. Bye bye. Hello everybody who picked this beautiful aqua aura cards and the telephone, and underneath your card were two other cards, the oyster and the hematite. So as you can see, I have a lot of cards for you here, but I'm going to kind of divide them into sections. So first, let me focus on the telephone, hematite and the oyster. So right away, I can tell you that the universe is urging you to open up more, because both with the oyster and the telephone, there is like directly a message of a need to share something with other people. And with the telephone, it is this energy of communication, but paired with the oyster, I feel like it's especially talking about like directly the need to open up and share what is inside of you more with the world, because it is a very symbolical meaning. I guess you can imagine that the oyster, as we know, is an animal that cultivates the pearls inside of it, and it requires a lot of hard work and patience, and it's really associated with this inner treasure, with turning any hardship into gold, because to the pearl to the oyster, the pearl is like coating something that has gotten inside of her with this beautiful pearl substance. So it's actually protection. But back to the topic. So I feel like, yeah, there is this inner treasure inside of you that you're cultivating as a result of your hard work, as a result of your spiritual development, of maybe some maybe you had some kind of unpleasant past, but whatever it is, the focus here is that what you have to offer to the world needs to be put out there, because it seems like you still haven't truly shown the world the real you, or at least you are in the process of doing that. And if the universe is urging you to do that, I feel like you could actually gain a lot of beautiful, nourishing energy from sharing your own beauty to the people around you. And with all the other cards, I feel like it's not really something so obvious. Like, the other cards don't really seem to share that message so much. So I feel like maybe it's not even something that you necessarily would think about a lot. Like, the message of opening up isn't something that you think about necessarily a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are other issues that you would think about, and you maybe are even surprised that this is what's coming up first thing in your reading. That's what I mean. And with the hematite, we have number 19. I feel like mentioning that. There is this message of how to, I think it's connected with how you could perhaps be more willing to open up. Hematite is this stone of grounding, of being connected with your physical self in a way, of being reminded that there is this physical aspect to life. And of course, it's also about staying connected with the divine, with the spiritual realm, but at the same time truly appreciating and using to the fullest the energy of the earth, of sensory touch, of everything that is connected to your senses. So yeah, I feel with the other cards here, and those are meant to represent the key features or maybe something that the universe wants you to appreciate about yourself right now. And of course, remember that at all times universe loves us for everything that we are, and this is only meant to be something that you perhaps need to hear right now, or something that is essential in your growth to hear, to focus on, or just to be reminded, or it's connected to something that we are going to be talking about in a moment. So why I'm jumping to that? Because hematite, with its message of need for grounding and what is later coming up, seems to me like you may be this person that is kind of up in their head, that is kind of closed off from the society, or rather that's how you come across. Or perhaps you aren't necessarily the hermit type, although you kind of seem like that, but it's just talking about how you could open up more. So maybe you are already like a people person, but there is still the potential to unlock something within your social aspect of your personality, of your life, that is very important, something that universe wants to talk about here and now. So we got 4 cards, and I want to read to you the light attribute on each of the card, because I find that it may resonate with you more if you hear it directly from the card. And of course I will later go deeper into what I think may want to come through as this message of love for you. So we have the monk nun with the selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. Visionary with capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Child magical, seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. And the Avenger, desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. So to be honest with you, it seems like a very mosaic piece of characteristics. So far in the readings, no, actually not, but it seems like you are a very complex person, or at least here and now it's many things that universe wants to remind you of, to focus on, to appreciate in yourself, because this is the main goal for this part, to appreciate and better understand who you are and how that is very beautiful and essential in your growth and for the universe in general. Yeah, so let me start with how I feel like you may be very spiritual, or rather I guess you would consider yourself spiritual, at least a bit, if you are watching this reading. But if you don't necessarily think of yourself that way, it would more so talk about just your dedication to inner world, your inner growth. So it may be like spiritual, but you don't need to view it as such. Anything that is spiritual is basically connected with self-development, with better understanding of the world and of ourselves. So that's what I would like to highlight and to just say for those of you who maybe would not necessarily like to have that word of spiritual. Yeah, so monk nun and visionary, I feel like once again you are very spiritual, you are very deep into yourself. Like this oyster, you may be closed off from the outside world, but on the other hand your inner world is very rich, very magical. And that's why I was picking up on this with hematite, that you are so up in your head, or rather up in your imagination, up in your being, in yourself. And that's why you may be a little bit detached from the physicality of things, because you are just somewhere else. You know what I mean. But that's not a bad thing, just to be clear. That's something also beautiful. It is only advised that you do connect with this more grounded side of things, not because it's bad that you may have those tendencies to be less connected with it, but because maybe universe wants you to just see how much you can gain by sometimes at least connecting with the ground, with the Mother Earth, with your physical body, how it could enrich your life. Maybe something that you are not experiencing now could be unlocked if you perhaps focus a little bit more on the physicality. And maybe focusing on physicality is also where the focusing on other people and outer world comes in, so that then you feel more motivated to share yourself, to share your inner spiritual, energetical world with others, to put it outside there into physicality, to actually manifest your ideas into physicality, to speak them into existence, or just to share them again with others, so that they are kind of out of your head into the reality, because they have been somehow mentioned and they now exist in this outside world of you. Outside of you is what I mean. So again, you are probably very in tune with your psychic abilities. Now, if you don't necessarily practice anything of that, but I guess some of you would consider yourself like consciously following your intuition, being aware that here and now you're like connecting with your inner voice, or with some kind of cosmic consciousness, or with source, the universe, and so on. For others of you, it's more like just some skill that you have that's just natural for you, like just knowing what to do, having this kind of like envisioning the future with the visionary. kind of knowing just what could happen and being really great at navigating that. That is something that Spirit really wants you to be more appreciative of if you aren't already, or even if you are, just extra boost of love. That's how this reading works. That's the plan for today. So and with the Child and Magical, this is a very beautiful card. I personally very like the children archetypes. But it just talks about this, as I was reading the light attribute, all for the life, appreciation of beauty in everything, and just being very grateful for everything. And just this is the type of energy when you would walk by a tree or a flower, and you would just stop and think about how beautiful they are, and you wouldn't really often get bored unless you were like in a really stuck place, like energetically not doing anything. But other than that, you will see something very special in every moment, in every place, in every person. And this is the quality of you, which also seems kind of like for this reading in your head. So perhaps again you have this rich inner world, because it may not be something that you showed outwardly, this appreciation, this beauty, this creative magical spirit of yours that is on the inside of you. Yeah. And with the Avenger, this is another interesting thing here. So I'm not really sure how this fits in with the other things, but I guess this card talks about just something that you may have inside of you. Take it how it resonates, but I feel like many of you have like very high ambitions inside of your head, or maybe actually you do things already for some kind of cause or for some kind of goal, but again maybe you don't share it a lot with the world. And I'm reminded of the fact that this Avenger person here wears a mask, so perhaps even if he is somehow actively out there, it's not necessary that he shows who he is, or he ties his identity with what he is working on out in the world. So again, you are kind of in the shadows with who you are when it comes to sharing it with other people, with the world. But you are a person who dreams big and who has high ambitions, and you really care about changing the world for the better, or just social justice, or justice in general, justice for the planet, for people, for animals. And I feel like if you have some kind of dream, once again, it's really important to you. And what I feel like, this need for sharing your ideas, sharing your thoughts, communication, why this is so important for some of you, what you want to do with your life. Universe is saying with love that it might be hard to accomplish it all by yourself, and in order to truly utilize the full potential of what you dream of, sharing your ideas with others and actually communicating them and cooperating with those people is something that could really help you achieve what you want. Yeah. And again, with the oyster, I want to kind of go back to it because I think it's important. There is this message about the oyster, how this personality can shy away because they believe they have nothing to share. But we know that the oyster has this pearl inside. So there is this message of like how they take their own beauty and their own gifts for granted, and they may feel like there's nothing special to share, you know. But if you see a pearl that comes from this oyster, you will think it's beautiful, right? It's something special. Pearls are like highly valuable material, can I say it that way? Highly valuable things, or treasure, I don't know. So you are this oyster here. And this aspect of your personality, if you do consider yourself like maybe a little bit on a humble side, which also kind of is the vibe that you would get with the monk or a nun, just know that it's also a beautiful quality, but don't let it turn into low self-esteem or dismissing the beauty that you do have, because it deserves to be shared. If you keep this pearl inside of yourself, it will just stay this pearl, but it will never see the light, it will never shine. And you might be aware that it is inside of you, but you will not be able to see how beautiful it looks when you look at it from the outside perspective. So once again, I feel like there is something that universe is urging you to put out there, to share with others, to create its version into the physicality, because it can really give you more fulfillment and help you realize how great and beautiful you are and your ideas are, because you will be able to see them actually grow and bear fruit, and it will just help you believe in yourself more as well. And a little bit of a confirmation here with the monk and nun, the shadow attributes. Just for a moment, let's look at them. Negative judgment of the physical world. So while I do not think it's so extreme with you guys, maybe some of you resonate with that, but you will know if you do. It's again like this kind of detachment from the full potential of the physicality, from grounding yourself, your ideas. Yeah, but don't be afraid, like you won't lose your wonder for life when you start to ground those ideas. They won't lose their beautiful spark of magic and of potential. You will see them be realized, like manifested, and although maybe some parts of it will get altered for the sake of them actually being able to be brought into existence, but the core of its magic, of its beauty, your intention for what you wished them to be, your ideas, you will be able to convey them the way that is truly aligned with what you thought them to be while they were still just inside of you. That sounded a little bit weird, but if you resonate with that message, you will kind of know what I mean, what that means for you. And here I have three tarot cards, which are supposed to talk about some sort of story or event or situation that is happening in your life currently or has already happened in the past. And additionally, some further more information about your gifts, your personality, something to appreciate here and now, connected with the rest of the reading. And I have two cards to help us identify the situation that I will be talking about, and perhaps help you realize whether or not it's actually something that will be resonating with you in terms of a situation, because it's gonna get a little bit tricky. I can tell you that. We are going to be talking about some kind of unpleasant event, but let's not get discouraged. Actually, it could turn out positively as well. And later on, I will also have like final advice for you and additional confirmation. So yeah, so how you could identify the whole situation here. 2 cards fell out together, so we have upside down and earth. And what I thought about that first thing, I really like the small synchronicity of like Earth planet and the Earth map on the Avenger. It's always nice to see something like that. But yeah, the upside down is really like the key card here. The Earth is like supporting it. Upside down talks about a shift in perspective. And I really think it matches perfectly, because at the core of this tarot portion we have the Tower moment, the Tower card. So it's really very similar in energy. But what I think I would like to tell you here, what is the message, is that this event or situation, whether it was in your past or is going on right now, is meant to shift your perspective on something. It is meant to help you see behind those closed window bars, and really see that there is more out there, and that the world doesn't have to look the way that you have imagined it to. Because when you look at this card, it is like this bird, and I associate this bird to be the universe, like telling you like, look over here, right? Like showing you something. And the world behind the door or the window or door window is literally upside down. So it's really this different approach to life, like showing you that there are other things, that there are other ways of existing, of being, of thinking, of feeling, of doing, and so on, and that there perhaps is value in those different ways as well. And perhaps those different ways than what you know is what is best for you right now, is what could help you best right now. And if universe was not to show you, you wouldn't even realize, you wouldn't even look. And so the situation, whatever it is for you, it's meant to help you grow, go out of your present way of thinking, or in the past it was designed to help you grow through this shift in your perspective. And the earth here, honestly, I think like it's just talking about the scale of this event, like it was big for you. But other interpretations, I feel like it's very personal. So some of you may resonate with the like global aspect. Maybe you were traveling, maybe you were relocating. For others it will be something created with their like creative ideas, with their perspective on the world in general. Maybe some of you are like environmental workers, and so it's also like something could happen that was connected with that, or leaded to you becoming interested in those topics. Or there is something that is connected with culture, with collaboration with people from all around the world. It's very specific. So I feel like this card is just an additional card for people who will find that there perhaps is a message in it for them. So take a look, maybe you will come up with something by yourself. It's about intuition after all. But yeah, it's about earth, about creativity, about collaboration, about culture. So that's that, but the main thing is this change and shift in perspective, and that's for all of you. So if that doesn't really resonate, perhaps try to see if what I will be talking about next is something you could relate to, or perhaps this part is just not for you. But let me start just with more personality wise messages. So first, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So again, I just have to tell you, it instantly reminds me of this ungroundedness. So if you are in this process of still being up in your head, not yet being grounded, not yet putting much care or not dedicating much of your energy towards like actually creating physical base for your ideas, for what you want to create, it's talking about this kind of being, again, detached from physical reality, from physical world, from physical principles of our existence. So you may be, just to put it simply, up in your head a lot, a big dreamer, but you feel, maybe some of you feel like you miss some opportunities. But the universe wants to tell you that you never do. And this reading, in fact, is a huge opportunity for you as well. If you feel it resonates with you, that there's something that you want to do, that something wants to be brought into existence from you. This is a reminder from the universe that it is something important. It was something worth hearing about. And you never lose all the opportunities, because if it's something that is truly meant for you, something that you truly wish to do, it will never completely be gone from your options for the future. Yeah. And with the Tower, on a personality level, I feel like it's just talking about how you can use any unexpected event to transform. And that is something very admirable about you. I think like you also have this, again, it's connected to the ability to predict something happening. So maybe some of you have like this ability to envision possible consequences or like events in the near future, and can dodge the terrible things that could happen before they happen. But that's a very specific thing for those of you who resonate with like actually having those visions, or really feeling like you are clairvoyant or so on. But you really can use your life circumstances to transform for the better. You are not afraid of change, and when change comes through, although it may initially shook you up, you will use it to change your perspective, and you will adjust to the new way of being, and you will appreciate the gift that there is within that circumstance. And that's also connected with this dedication to spirit. I think like you are dedicated to this growth, you are dedicated to understanding, and it's also connected with this humbleness and like simple approach into life, in sense of like knowing that, deeper knowing that it is going towards your highest good, and that you can utilize anything. Anything can be used as a fuel for self-growth, and anything can be used as a fuel for understanding new lessons. If you don't resonate with that, I feel like there might be this hidden potential for you to really transform anything that is left as an unhealed trauma in your life. Maybe one of those is like keeping you stuck in your own head, if you feel like that is actually a problem for you, something that you would like to overcome, that this advice really resonates with you, something you truly on a deeper level know would benefit you, would make you more fulfilled in how your life is going. What else? It also keeps you humble. You know, life is life. And maybe that could discourage you, but I think it will. We will talk about it when we move to talking about it as circumstances. Okay, and the Hanged Man in reverse. So I feel like there is this aspect of you. I will read it very intuitively, let me tell you. So there is this aspect of you again which is very spiritual, because the Hanged Man is this one of the cards that I think really vibe with the spiritual side the most, because it is a person who is really into self-reflection. He is basically, oh, that's what it's talking about. So you are basically like suspended from the action in the physical world, but your inner world is very rich. So the only possibilities you do use are those inside of your head, outside of the physical world, because the Hanged Man is hanged and he is restricted, so he is not exploring anything outside of himself. So that may be the vibe that you have, but with the Hanged Man, it does seem like it's kind of out of his choice, isn't it? Because he is restricted, and you wouldn't imagine that he is the one who put himself into these ropes and hanged himself, basically. So perhaps there are circumstances in your life right now, or circumstances in your past, that made you this restricted individual. And I feel like it may be also the issue that we will talk about as one of the possibilities. But yeah, so you are very spiritual again, or like very reflective, very rich inwardly, but there is this lack of outside movement, and there is this lingering impatience, because a part of you is actually ready to create, ready to move on from that pause, from that rest, and wants to actually take action. That is the message, and that is why you have called in this reading and you are listening to it right now. Let me tell you. So reading this as a situation or as an event in your past, or what could be potentially still going on. So I feel like yeah, for many of you it's as simple as there was a missed opportunity for you, something that you wanted to ground into reality, but somehow it just didn't come to exist. Whether it was due to something on your side or outside circumstances, a situation that was out of your control. But there was this missed opportunity. And this has caused you like a serious breakdown, this shift in perspective, because you were not expecting this to happen. You were truly convinced, and you were like very in this belief that this reality will manifest, or at least there was something very unexpected about how that happened, and this made you lose your footing, basically. That is like the core message of the Tower moment. But it was divine intervention in the sense that it was necessary. It was necessary because what you would be creating wouldn't be sustainable in a way, or it was just necessary for you to gain this change in perspective. This upside down change of the world was actually something that was beneficial and was more important than having this opportunity. So that was the plan in order for you to grow as an individual. And this Tower moment has perhaps made you into this closed off individual, Maybe it was something like way back in your younger years, because I feel like this energy of closed offness for some of you is something you carry with you for a long time. Like it has become a part of your image of who you are, but maybe just for some of you, so don't be discouraged. And yeah, this has made you this detached individual that is prefers to stay up in their head, because perhaps you are afraid. Let me just shuffle. Because perhaps you are afraid of failure. Is it the case for some of them that they are afraid of failure and they stay up in their head? But what I want to say with this is that you are ready to move, ready to change. And perhaps for some of you this... we have the storm. Yeah, so it didn't come through for the last... or I guess it's like for the what I was talking about in the moment as well. So the storm card is like additional card that you will get, is talking about how there are unfavorable conditions, but you go for it anyway, because you don't care anymore about whatever is going out in the world. You just want to do it. So this card may talk about both things or one of those. So either how you are really ready to go, this part of you that really wants to open up, wants to share, wants this change. Because this oyster, this light that is coming from within it, I feel like it's really just pressuring it to open. It's ready to go out. It wants to go out. So for many of you, you are like ready to share something, to explore a certain idea more, to ground it into reality. You want it. You have envisioned it. You were dedicated to it. You dreamed it. And you are determined to make it happen. And as well, talking about the past, if there was this event that was a huge disappointment, perhaps this is the storm, right? Something that made your plans futile. And it also kind of resembles the tower moment, to be honest with you. But yeah. So let's get back to it. You have a potential to create your own reality. And there's always like a new opportunity. Every missed opportunity, if you truly know that this thing is for you, it's not the last. There will be other. And you will get there if you want to. You're ready to act. You have reflected a lot. You gained the wisdom that you could. And now you are ready to open up and to go. Universe wants you to be ready. But let me get into the advice. You actually got 2 cards. So the first one I pulled quite intentionally, but then I looked and there was another one lying on the table, so I guess it fell out, but I feel like it's not a coincidence. So first one, 10 of Wands in reverse. So some of you may be overwhelmed by worries, by responsibilities, by many different ideas as well. So take it as it resonates, but there is this feeling of overwhelm. So perhaps it's also like paralysis, I'm not sure how you spell it, but this feeling of overwhelm because of so many scenarios you have in your head about how something could go wrong. But the universe is really saying, let go of them, let go of the worries, let go of the intrusive thoughts, let go of the responsibilities, or maybe not responsibilities, but things that are keeping you really overwhelmed in your life, that you know are not serving you, that you know are not good, that you know are holding you back. Let go of them. Do not be afraid to release a baggage that is not worth carrying. And with the sun, be ready to experience this renewed joy, this state of bliss, connecting with your inner energy, with your inner passion. Because the sun is the energy of life, the nourishment itself. So, and it's also like one of the best happy card omens, or however you would call that. So whatever is going on for you in your life, everything is going to be okay. And what you need is this trust, this innocent trust in happiness, in expression, in abundance. Yeah. So let me just put it here. And very additionally, so don't worry if it doesn't resonate, we have like a few cubes. So we have the flower, angel wings, and puzzle pieces. So the flower talks about blooming, and I feel it resembles this flower over here. So I feel like you are blooming, and the blooming flower is also about opening up, like this oyster. So again, the message of opening up like this small flower bud into this growing, beautiful, big flower with petals and colors, and sharing your beautiful pollen and nourishing the world. Because when you open up as this flower, you share your pollen, you can help the bees and to grow more flowers. That's just a very abundant, nourishing energy that is the result of this flower opening up. With the angel wings, again, it's about spiritual aspects, about like your connection with the divine, your intuition, and just this side of life, I think. But if you feel like there is just additional sign for you here, take it. With the flowers as well. And with the puzzle pieces, maybe you just like solving puzzles. Maybe you really like just puzzles, just as simple as that. But again, I feel like this puzzle image in particular is like you feel like perhaps you are the misfit to this society, because you could be this one black puzzle, and or other puzzles are white, like this black sheep or something, this kind of concept. But you really are unique, and you have a lot to offer. And again, it could also talk about how you're a very complex individual, how you are this mosaic of many things fitting together, because that's the vibe that I was getting from your reading when I just shuffled the cards. But again, take those messages as they resonate. And yeah, I hope this reading actually resonated with you in some way, that it conveyed a message that you feel you needed to hear, or that hearing it helped you in some way to feel that love for yourself. Because don't forget, this was the main purpose for this reading, messages of love. So it was meant to uplift you and make you love yourself more once again, if there is some kind of issue with that, or just love yourself even more and love your life even more, and really trust that universe loves you, and there's abundance and possibilities and opportunities all around you. and the universe just wants you to share more of your beautiful self with the world, so that you can ground your beautiful ideas into physicality. Yeah. So thank you very much. You can really change the world, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.